Most people believe they make online shopping decisions logically. They compare prices, skim descriptions, maybe glance at reviews, and then decide. But in reality, most online purchases are driven by psychological shortcuts your brain uses to make decisions faster and with less effort. These shortcuts are not flaws, they exist because your brain is designed to conserve energy and avoid uncertainty. The problem is that modern web shops are built specifically to exploit these shortcuts. In this episode, I want to explain the most important psychological mechanisms behind online shopping decisions, show how they appear in practice and give you simple ways to neutralize them. Hi, my name is Joanna and this is Webshop Savvy, where we talk about online shopping done safely and confidently. Most of us like to think we shop rationally. We compare prices, we read descriptions, we make informed decisions. But here is the uncomfortable truth. Your brain usually decides emotionally first. And then your logic just writes an explanation. It's not, I carefully analyze this purchase. It's more like, I want this, and here's why it's totally reasonable. Moreover, a lot of bad purchases don't happen on a calm Sunday morning. They happen when you're tired, when you're stressed, when you're bored, or you're just treating yourself. So what can you do to avoid emotional purchases? Wait, just wait. Save it to your favorite list. This will delay the decision process. If after a few days, a week, or even a month you still want it, then it's probably okay. But I can guarantee you, most of the time you'll discover that you don't need or want this item anymore. Let's talk about one of the most profitable tricks in online shopping, creating a need, and then activating FOMO mode to seal the deal. Creating a need is when a brand convinces you you're missing something, even though you were perfectly fine without it till now. It doesn't start with your problem, it starts with their product, and then they work backwards to invent the problem it solves. Take the egg cooker. A device whose entire purpose is to boil an egg. Something humans have been doing with a pot of water since forever, but online it's marketed like a life-changing innovation. Suddenly boiling an egg becomes a philosophy, a precision science you're apparently too clumsy to handle on your own. And just like that, a simple everyday task is reframed as a problem, and the egg boiler becomes a solution you didn't know you needed. Online platforms are perfect for this tactic because they can target you with hyper-specific ads or influencer demos, must-haves lists, and endless videos of people living their best, perfectly organized lives. After the 10th video of someone using an egg boiler, your brain starts whispering, maybe I do need this. Now let's talk about urgency and FOMO. Once the need is created, the next step is to make you feel like you'll miss out if you don't buy it. You've seen this before. Only 2 left in stock. Offer expires in 10 minutes. Trending right now. 15 people are viewing this right now. Over 10,000 sold this week. Or limited edition color. This activates a very old part of the brain that says, if I don't act now, I'll lose something. Typical FOMO effect. This combination, creating a need and FOMO, is incredibly effective because it taps into 2 things. 1, your identity, the version of yourself you want to be. 2, loss aversion, the fear of missing out on something others have. You're no longer buying an egg boiler. You're buying the idea of being more organized, more efficient, more put together. And you're buying it now because apparently everyone else already has one. Next psychological trick, social proof. Social proof is the idea that if other people like something, it must be good. It's a shortcut your brain uses to make decisions faster and with less effort. In real life, it's the busy restaurant you assume is better than the empty one. Online, it's everywhere, and it's engineered. Reviews are the most obvious form of social proof. But here is a twist. You don't even need to read them. Just seeing 4.7 stars is enough to make your brain relax and think, okay, it's a safe choice. And platforms know this. That's why the stars are huge and the critical reviews are buried. So let's talk about badges. Bestseller and trending now, for example. These labels don't tell you anything about quality. They tell you what other people are buying, and your brain interprets it as the recommendation. It's not, this is the best product, it's, everyone else is buying this, so maybe you should too. But what if people actually aren't buying the item? Another trick. People like you bot. This one is sneaky. It uses your browsing history to create a sense of belonging. If people like you bought something, it feels personally relevant, even if the product is completely unnecessary. How about influencer recommendations? Influencers are essentially social proof in human form. They're not selling the product, they're selling the lifestyle you associate with. When someone you admire uses a product, your brain treats it as trusted endorsement, even when it's sponsored. Another trick, live counters and activity notifications. 12 people bought this in the last hour. Someone in Copenhagen just added this to their cart. Only 3 left and 27 people are viewing this right now. These aren't just urgency triggers. They're also social proof disguised as real-time data. Your brain is wired to avoid risk. When you see that other people have already made the decision, your brain assumes the product is safe, popular, and acceptable. It reduces uncertainty, it reduces decision fatigue, and it makes you feel like you're part of a group. Now here is the problem. Not all social proof is real. Reviews may be fake. Influencer endorsements paid. Bestseller labels artificial. Bots could be inflating engagement. Recent purchases may be fake pop-ups. When social proof is manufactured, it stops being helpful and becomes a psychological trap. So ask yourself, do I want this because it's good or because everyone else seems to want it? That one question can save you a lot of money and a lot of egg boilers. Anchoring happens when the first number you see becomes the reference point for everything that follows. In online shopping, this is the most visible in discounts. Was $1,499, now only $499. Your brain focuses on the difference, not the value. It doesn't ask whether the product is worth $499. It celebrates saving $1,000. Even if the original price was never realistic, the anchor still works. Anchoring also appears in comparison tables and premium versus basic layouts and in default recommendations. The expensive option makes the middle option feel reasonable, even if you didn't need either. To counter anchoring, remove the comparison. Ask one question only: would I buy this at this price if I never saw the discount? Let's talk about misleading advertising. What is misleading by implication tactic? It's when the ad doesn't technically lie, but it leads you to the wrong conclusion anyway. This tactic works by leaving out just enough information so your brain fills in the gaps. Incorrectly, of course. The advertiser doesn't say anything false. They simply frame the story so you draw the conclusion they want. And because they never state the misleading claim directly, it's very hard to challenge legally. But psychologically, it's incredibly powerful. You probably know that ad when 3 guys talk about booking the same hotel. Oh, and you didn't use the But somehow they all paid different prices. And the big message is, look, this platform finds you the best deal, except they never actually say they booked the same room standard. They just let you assume it. In reality, hotel prices vary because of different room categories, different cancellation rules, breakfast or no breakfast, loyalty discounts, dynamic pricing. So those 3 guys, they probably booked completely different things. This trick works because your brain loves simple stories. Same hotel, same room, different prices, one platform, it must be a hero. It feels logical, so you don't question the missing details. That's the power of misleading by implication tactic. The ad never lies, it just lets you make the wrong assumption. So next time you see a price comparison in an ad, remember, if apples are compared with pears, you're not looking at a fair comparison. Let's talk about convenience bias, or why easy choices feel like good choices. The easier the decision is, the better it feels. If you have your card set, one-click checkout, autofill details and biometric confirmation, they all reduce friction. Friction is not just inconvenience, friction is thinking time. When payment is effortless, your brain skips evaluation steps. Is this shop trustworthy? Is this the safest payment method? What happens if something goes wrong? Scammers rely heavily on convenience. The less time you have to think, the more likely you are to comply. A small delay is often enough to restore logic. If a webshop makes it too easy to pay but too hard to find company details, that imbalance is a warning sign. In previous episodes, I explained how to check shop legitimacy, payment safety, and key terms and conditions. Check out those episodes. Here is the most important takeaway. You cannot override psychology. In reality, psychology usually wins. But you can protect yourself with simple rules. Rules help you decide in advance, so you don't have to think under pressure. And here are a few simple ones. 1. No buying under time pressure. 2. No wire transfers. 3. No unknown shops without checks. 4. No late night scrolling purchases. These rules don't make you rigid, they make you consistent. Smart online shopping is not about resisting temptation. It's about designing your behavior so temptation has less power. Online shopping is not dangerous because people are careless. It's risky because it's designed to feel safe, urgent, and familiar. Once you understand the psychology behind it, you stop blaming yourself for past decisions and start recognizing patterns. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, subscribe, comment, and share. It really helps Webshop Savvy reach more consumers who want to shop safely and confidently. I hope to see you in the next episode, and until then, stay safe and warm, and see you next week.